Aloha everyone, it's Kumu Marian, and I hope you're as excited as I am to learn about HTML. Many of you may have already heard of HTML and or used it to create web pages. In this video, we will go back to the basics of HTML. Let's get started. In this video, we're going to be learning 4 topics. What is HTML? What does a basic HTML document look like? And we're going to be learning about HTML tags and the role that web browsers play in all of this. So what is HTML? HTML is a hypertext markup language that we use to create web pages. Now let's open up brackets and start creating our first web page using HTML. So remember guys that your brackets is here in the dock. So I want you to single click that. Bracket shows up. It should look like this. And the next thing I want you guys to do is we're going to create a new file. So we're going to go up to File, New, and here we have an untitled file. Let's go ahead and save this file. So what we can do here is we can actually right click, or you want to just single click on the trackpad here and you want to go to save. And we're going to save it as index.html. Okay, and where we want to save it is on the desktop. So make sure you change that to desktop. And now you can hit save. And now you can see that our file here has been created. And if you look on my desktop, you can see that index.html is right here. Next thing I'm going to have you guys do is I'm going to have you guys get started on typing out sort of a basic skeleton of an HTML document. So actually you should just follow along at this point. We're going to type about 12 lines out here, and pause the video if you need to. Okay, that's our first line. As you guys are typing, you might want to just kind of see what's going on. If you noticed, I typed the opening tag. So this is the opening tag here of HTML tag. And when I pressed enter, when I completed the opening tag, the closing tag actually automatically came up. So, or we could say automatically completed. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and press enter a few times. And within the HTML tag, we're going to go ahead and create a head tag. And once again, it brings up that other tag for us. And hit tab to so that everything's in alignment here. And within the head tag, now I want you guys to type title. And if you notice, the same thing happens. And within here, let's just call this page title. Okay. And now we're going to type the body tag in here. We can actually bring up this HTML tag if we want to. And within the body tag, I want you to type in the header tag. And let's just call this my first web page. Okay. And just hit tab so that everything's back in alignment here. And we can go back up here and hit tab. And then we want to go ahead and create a paragraph here. So we're going to use the P tag, the paragraph tag. And in here we're going to put my first paragraph. Right, everything looks good. If you haven't finished, this is a good place to pause. All right. Now what we want to do is you've completed typing the HTML, a basic HTML document. And what we want to do is do a live preview. So go ahead and hit that thunderbolt there. And let's see what comes up. Okay. Oh, very interesting. Nothing comes up, right? And that's because I haven't saved, I haven't actually saved what I typed in my document. So we're going to go back to brackets and we're going to click. So I want you guys to click on your file. You notice how that little dot appears. And we want to just hit Command S. And now if I highlight or if I hover over my file, the X doesn't turn into a little white dot, and actually the white dot was up here too. So that was actually a good thing that didn't work. So let's do the live preview again and let's see what happens. All right. All right, guys, let's break down the HTML document that we created in brackets. And I'm going to start at the very top. And this is where you will find the document type declaration. And I'm actually going to make a comment here. So I encourage you guys to actually follow along and do the comments with me so you guys get some experience with writing comments. And what I mean by comments is it's actually not going to be visible in your web page. It's comments that you can add in to help you understand what's going on in your document, in your HTML document. So in this case, I'm going to be writing comments about all the tags that we have in our document. So this is the declaration defines this document as an HTML5 document. Okay, so a couple things to note here about my comment is you see it has an opening and a closing tag. It has an exclamation point and it has 2 dashes in the beginning and 2 dashes in the end. So if you notice, if I take away those dashes, you notice that everything's grayed out. So therefore, everything now appears as if it's a comment. So we just want to make sure that we add the T back, the double line, and now we have all our tags back. Anything between the HTML tag describes the HTML document. Okay, so let's put that comment in. Describes HTML document. And didn't do that right, so let's go ahead and change that. And take that little bit off. So the head of the document, this provides information about the document itself, and I can show you where that information pops up. So provides information about the document. Okay, feel free to pause the video if I'm moving too fast. So this is where the head of the document is, right here in this area. And if you look at that next, the title tag, and what's in between here on the title tag, it says page title. You notice that that's what appears here in the head of your document, right? So let's, so it provides a title for your document. Now you guys know where that title is. The body is a really important part of your document because this describes the visible page content. And as you can see, what's the visible in the page content is what you've um, designated as the header and what you've designated in the first paragraph. Okay, so the body describes the visible page content. Okay, and the header, as you can see, is big and bold here. And that describes the heading tag in your document. And I'm going to go into more detail about that in the next video. And of course, your paragraph tag describes a paragraph. And I'm sure you guys have already noticed that there's always a opening tag and a closing tag for every tag that you have in your document. Okay, so let's go ahead and Command S, and let's just make sure that none of my comments here doesn't look like they're going to appear in the visible page content. So let's just make sure. We can X that out here. We can press the live preview, and let's just make sure that everything is the same. And it appears that everything is the same. I want to quickly review what we learned in this video. One really important thing we learned is what HTML stands for, and it's a hypertext markup language. We learned some basic HTML. We learned how to declare an HTML document. We learned the importance of the different tags. For example, HTML tag, the body tag, the header tag, the paragraph tag. And you guys are becoming way more familiar with brackets and how to use the live preview. In the next video, diving deeper into HTML tags, we're going to learn about the uses of other tags, so tags that I haven't introduced in this video. Great job today. Keep up the great work, and aloha.